Hi, I've had a request to talk about how to learn Arabic for religious purposes, i.e., you're a Muslim and you want to learn the language of Allah, of the Quran, of the Muslims over the centuries, and the lingua franca of Muslims today. Like with any language you want to learn, you need to have very specific goals. What precisely do you want to do and in what priority? So, for example, I'm assuming that reading the Quran and Islamic writings is high on the list. But other things you would want to do could be able to listen to modern standard Arabic used for religious purposes, i.e., sermons, Islamic discussion programs, and also being able to take part in conversations with Muslims who are using modern standard Arabic as a way to speak. And I say this because just by reading, you won't be able to speak. Just by listening, you won't be able to listen. You won't be able to read, etc. Every skill is different. Obviously, they help each other to an extent, but you just have to be clear. The easiest thing is reading, because you don't have to find any native speakers to interact with. You can, and there are plenty of resources online. However, if you do want to be able to speak with people and to listen, therefore, you simply must do these things. So if your aim is to speak, I would find a good speaker of modern standard Arabic online on a language exchange site like mylanguageexchange.com, for example. Be specific that you want to speak in standard or classical Arabic in exchange for speaking with them in English or your native language. And this will mean that and just by practicing and practicing and practicing, you get better. This is how I'm learning the languages I'm learning at the moment. If your aim is to speak, then you just must speak. Now, let me just return to reading, because I think for religious purposes, reading is essential. Don't waste your time at the beginning by going through a generic course, one which teaches you things like the dog is yellow, where's my book, he is very far. I mean, you don't need to be talking about these kind of things or understand it. This is not the kind of vocabulary you need to have in order to understand the Quran. I would actually start by having, first of all, by learning the alphabet. Learning the alphabet, of course, in itself is an undertaking, but I would actually argue that the best way to learn is to practice, i.e., get your alphabet, print it out, and then have a printout of, or on screen of the Quran in Arabic on one side and English on the other. And you've got plenty of online programs which will recite it for you, so you can hear how it's meant to be pronounced. You can click on the words themselves, and they will tell you what they mean in English, give you dictionary definitions, and I would just practice from the get go. You've got your letters. You just try to match them up. It takes time, but ultimately the only way you're going to learn to read is by reading. Even the idea of learning letters, you'll only learn them by actually trying to read the Quran or any other text you're reading out loud. So I'll do that as a starting point, and as your actual basis for learning to read. I would then go and get yourself a course book specifically for the Quran. One which talks about Arabic for the Quran or something like that, which goes through exercises in Quranic vocabulary and grammar. I would then, as a third stage, enlist the help of a teacher but not for somebody who'll give you regular lessons, once a week, etc. Somebody who's there more as a coach, somebody to whom you can go with all the stuff you've already done and ask questions. Someone who can advise you, give you guidance, correct anything that they see if you understood incorrectly. But be under no illusion that a teacher will magically make you understand anything. A teacher is there to help you, and can, but really you actually learn when you practice yourself. And this is so much more empowering and so much more fun because, as I say, you literally can sit down today with an online copy of the Quran al-Kareem, your English translation, your Arabic letters printed out, and you can start reading out loud and understanding and learning by yourself. Okay, so those are my tips. I haven't mentioned listening. Listening probably is something what you'd want to do a bit later on, just because you need to have a core idea of the grammar and phraseology of the vocabulary before you start. But when you get to that point, you want to start listening things, you just must go online, find stuff that you want to listen to, ideally with English translations, subtitles, so you can try to work out what the Arabic saying, compare it to the English. Practice. Go back to your teacher, i.e. your Arabic coach. I hope you found this useful. Please do ask me any questions you have in the comments. Thanks very much.